This is David with the Paranormal Sessions podcast. It's Tuesday, June 3rd. I want to thank all the new people that are on my channel. I really appreciate it. I always try to accurately report what I see, and at times there might not be much that I've seen, which is actually a blessing for me. And other times I see a lot, and that's actually what's happened these last 2 weeks. So the first thing I want to talk about, this was about a week and a half ago, roughly. And for the new people, there's a yellowish-white light that's in my ceiling from the Holy Spirit. So when things are bad, it expands, and when things aren't as bad, they kind of contract. And if there's not much going on, there is no yellowish-white light from the Holy Spirit. So any help I can get, because sometimes there's things that I can't handle on my own, but I always try to do that, and I'm sure the Holy Spirit can probably tell when it's above my level or my ability. That's when they come along and help me. So I'd been seeing the yellowish white light on the ceiling, and it was pretty much the the standard size, so to speak. It's like about 8 feet long and maybe about 4 feet wide, somewhere along those dimensions. And so every night, I turn off the light and let my eyes adjust, and then I can see, the yellowish white light. So I look at it one night, and and it's fine. So I close my eyes, and I'm having a little trouble going to sleep. So then I look back at the ceiling, and it's not there. And I look a little bit down, and there's the yellowish white light. It's almost like touching the carpeting. It's like about the size of a door. Now, I don't see anyone in there, because a few other times I have seen some people within the yellowish white light. But this time there was no one there. But I did see a large black circle like on the floor, and then there's a line sticking out from it. And honestly, I don't quite know why that was showing like that. I know it's not evil, but I'm sure there's some symbolism or something involved. But I was kind of surprised that it showed that. I've never seen that before. It was just like a large black circle on the basically like almost like on the carpet, and then a black line going out, I don't know, about 4 or 5 feet. And then I looked at it for a little bit, and I thought, I have no idea what this means. So I closed my eyes. A few minutes later, I opened them up, looked back up at the ceiling, and now the yellowish white light's on the ceiling and not where it was like almost facing me. And for a moment, I thought, I wonder if I should kind of like get out of bed and try to touch it. And I thought, I'm sure if I was a very religious and righteous man, I'd probably do it. But I have my vices, and so I thought, I shouldn't be, even if I could touch it, I should. That's for someone that's more pious and righteous than me. So I just let that go. So so that was kind of unusual, to say the least. So a friend of mine, and I had helped, probably a year ago, year and a half. They had some odd occurrences at their house. And so I went out there, and I didn't get the sense there was anything around. So what I do is, I'll kind of walk around, and I usually can get a feel if there's something around me. I couldn't feel anything. So then what I do is kind of like the last resort, so to speak, is I close my eyes, and I focus on a part of the house, and then I just keep focusing in sections. Well, I close, looked up to the left, nothing. Look straight ahead, there's nothing. Then I turn to the right, and I see this evil man. And as soon as he could see that I could see him, all of a sudden he backed up and disappeared. And there hadn't been any other activity after that. So I figured that, it's a low-level evil spirit. And in fact, I think I'm going to do a video next week and talk about, there's 4 levels of evil, at least that I've experienced over the years. But back to helping this. I didn't mean to digress. Back to these friends of mine that I help. So I go back now. They want me to come over, and I didn't really get the sense of anything. But I thought, I go, what I'll do is, because most of the time evil comes out anywhere from about 2:30 to like 5 in the morning, and there's usually a lot more around 3 a.m. So I go into one of the other bedrooms, and I close the door, and I figure if there's anything that's going to happen, they're going to come at me. So and I always have trouble sleeping in a strange bed, so I kept tossing and turning. So I finally fall asleep. I must have been around, I don't know, 1:30 or 2, and then about a half hour later, I didn't check my watch, but I assume it was around 2:30, maybe 3, I don't know. So I look up, and I could see the front door is not there, but it's like a screen, like someone came in. And I'm pretty tired because I haven't been sleeping much the whole night, so I'm trying to focus on the door, and I go, did someone like break in or something like that? And when you're half tired, dead tired, you're not thinking that clearly. So I'm looking at the door, I go, no, that can't be right. And then all of a sudden I see like like someone holding a flashlight, and it's it's on the carpeting, like they're looking to see if there's anything worth stealing. And for a moment I get kind of panicked. I think, oh my God, there's someone breaking in. But when I focus on the outline of this person, who's solid black, he immediately goes kind of hides around the corner wall. And I thought, yeah, this is evil, because why would he show me the light on the floor and then hide? If it was a true burglar, if they're showing me the light, they're going to come on in or whatever. So as soon as he hit around the corner, I thought, well, it's that's evil. And then I noticed on the door jamb of my room, because still it doesn't even show that the door's closed, it's open, and that's how that was evil doing that. And I see like this large blob, and it's almost like it's breathing, and it's expanding, and it contracts a little bit, then expand and contract. And I see it, and I've never seen that before. It just looked like some kind of like I can't even think of what it could be, but it was kind of like a breathing blob or whatever. And then eventually that went away. And so I told him in the morning, I go, I did see something. I said, but I'm pretty sure it's just low level. I go, I didn't really get the sense that they have a whole lot of power. I go, so I wouldn't worry about it. I go, the worst case is they'll probably just be an annoyance every once in a while. I go, but if it gets worse, just let me know, and then we can go from there. So I get up in the morning, I go home, and a few days later I wake up at, what was it? It was actually yesterday. I wake up out of a sound sleep, and I didn't know if I had a nightmare or what, but I sat out of the bed really, like kind of like not scared, but like startled. And I get up to get out of bed, and I see this small black figure. I couldn't even tell if it had arms, but the person, well, it wasn't a person, the entity was maybe about 5 feet or a little bit less. And I just went right through them, and I thought, this is the one who was probably put a nightmare in my head or whatever, because I'm in sync with evil, which some people, that's bad. Well, that also helps me, because whenever there's movement, I'll usually wake up, I always wake up when there's evil moving around. So that the one that I saw in their house was low level, but whatever came back does have some power. And this is the second time I've made that mistake where I helped someone instead of, I should have brought my holy water and I blessed myself, and that anything's attached is going to be removed. And kind of go back in time when I was at this Hotel Vendome in Prescott, I got jumped by an evil spirit. This was like 4 years ago, I think. That had never happened to me. I never thought it ever would, but luckily I had holy water and I blessed myself, and then within about 15 seconds I was back to normal. But I should have done that this time, but I didn't do it. I was starting to get too comfortable and arrogant that I can handle anything, and this was like low level. Well, this one that came back with me is not low level. He's actually got some power. So that's my own fault. I can't blame the people I was helping. That was me. I should have realized there's always a chance that evil sometimes will show themselves as very little, kind of like weak, and you figure it's more of an annoyance when they're actually just waiting for the right time, which they did on me. And when I came back, they came back with me. So now I have to adjust some things, because now they have more power than what I anticipated. But that's all my fault. So I just wanted to give everyone an update. I was going to update from what happened the previous week, but I thought, no, I'll wait and see what else happened. So quite a bit has happened. This is a bit longer video than what I normally do, but I just wanted to get everyone updated. And I got my trail cam on, so hopefully it'll catch something. And when it does, I'll show those pictures. But I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks.